Hi guys, welcome to this session in Microsoft Excel. In this module, I want to show you how you can create data validation lists that are dependent on a selection. So first of all, I'm just going to recap how data validation works, and then I'll get on to the content for today. So basically, data validation allows you to create a drop-down list in any cell that you select. So if I start here, I'll just color this in so you can see where I'm at. The feature is on the Data tab, and over on the Data Tools group, you have this one, Data Validation. You click in there and you have a series of options that you can select from. These are all the different options. So basically you could force people just to type a number, a date range, or whatever you want, but I'm going for a list. Now there's three ways of getting a list. You can actually type a list. So with a comma, I can just do that, and that will be my list. If I go in there now, you see a little drop down list. That's me typing it. If I go back into it, you can select a list. So I'll highlight these towns. That'll be my list. Okay, now that's going to be my list. And the third way is that you can name a list and then refer to that named list. So I'm going to name all of these colored lists by these labels. So what you do is you highlight this table, you go to the Formulas tab, and you click on Create from Selection. It's asking me, do I want to use the top row labels? Yes, I do, to name these colored areas, but not the left column. I don't want leads to be named as this. So just the top row, OK. And then if I highlight this orange area, for example, that is now called Yorkshire. The green area is going to be called Durham, and the pink area is going to be called Northumberland. So in here, I can now go back to the Data tab, drop the arrow down on this one, change what it's looking at. So if I click on this little arrow, that's what I would use to select. It's looking at that, but this time all I want to do is just get rid of that and type equals, I'll go for Durham. So type in equals Durham. When I click OK to that, you can drop the little arrow down, and now it's showing me these towns in Durham. If I go back into it for a second, you can also have a input message. So it could be something like select from list, and you can have an error message where you could say stop or wrong or warning or whatever, and then type a message. Only these items, and then instruction, check your entry. So the idea of data validation is to stop people typing inaccurate information. Click OK to that. So then if I click off this, you should get the, if I select something, I didn't put an input message in there, so I need to type something in there. These items only. Click OK, that'll be the message. So that's it. And if you type something that's not in there, you get the error message that you've selected. You don't have to do that, but that's basically what it is. And then if you wanted that to be on several cells, if I delete that and then just pull that down, that is now available in any of these cells that's pink, because I pulled it down. If you don't want it, you click above it on a blank cell, get your little black cross, wipe it off like that. Now it's gone. So what I want to do with this list is when I select one of these counties, I only want to see the relevant list for that county. So I do need to name these three. Now, before I used the computer, I went to Formulas, Create from Selection. But you can also highlight it yourself and type it yourself. So I'm going to go in there and type county and press enter. That would name those. County, press enter. And now what I need to do, these are already named, remember, I've already named these. So everything needs to be named for this to work. They're all named. So what I need to do here is, let me colour this one up. I'll colour this one some colour I haven't already got, which is nearly every colour, that one, blue. I want a data validation list that looks at county. So back to the data tab, select data validation. I'm not going to bother with the input message or the error alert, so I'm just going to list and then equals county. Clicking OK to that. Selecting a county, Yorkshire. Then next to it, I want to use the indirect function, which will look at that, whatever that says, and then show me whatever that means. And because that's a named range, it will show me the named range. So if I just type, for example, equals Durham, when I press enter on that, it just shows me that list, so I can type that anyway. So what's going to happen with this indirect function is it's going to show me that list, and I'm going to put it in there, and I'll just color this one different color again, so it's yellow. So in there, I'm going data validation list, and then equals indirect, open the bracket, and click on D2, click on D1, close the bracket, click OK, drop the list down. It just shows me the cities from Yorkshire. If I change that to Northumberland, that now will only show me the ones for Northumberland, and you can select them like that. I just need to widen that a bit now for Northumberland. So that's a conditional data validation list. You select the first item, and then it'll just show you the ones for that. And obviously you can just make that nice and neat, like so. So that's all I want to talk about in this little video, how you can create data validation, straightforward data validation, and then how you can make that a bit more user-friendly or a bit more intuitive by creating conditional data validation lists. So conditional on a selection, in this case the counties, it will show you the cities that refer to that county or belong to that county. So hopefully this little video is of use. Thank you for your time, and I'll catch you on the next one.